Please welcome to the stage, Sneaky Soundsystem!
I just don't wanna be lonely, 'cause the lights were shining ever so bright. With my hand, there's a pulse of my beating heart. I'm biting my tongue, there's a plastic man on the telephone. Oh, can you see the bright light shining? I don't know. Can you see the bright light shining, shining? Hey! I saw a UFO and nobody believes me. I was 16 miles from home and nobody inside. I saw a UFO and nobody believes me. And what's it gonna take to get me back home tonight? Oh, oh. Can you see the bright light shining? I don't know. Is it a reflection of anyone? The big glow. And tell me this is all good. And you say I don't know. I'm very, very far from home. I saw a UFO and nobody believes me. I was 16 miles from home and nobody inside. I saw a UFO and nobody believes me. And what's it gonna take to get me back home tonight? Oh, oh. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I saw a UFO and nobody believes me. I was 16 miles from home and nobody inside. I saw a UFO and nobody believes me. And what's it gonna take to get me back home tonight? Oh, oh, tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gather Round. That was the Sneaky Soundsystem. Connie Mitchell, Angus McDonald. How good was that, ladies and gentlemen? Well done, that's great. Hey, and also, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Alyssa and Sam from Matt's, who opened the show beautifully tonight. Done you guys, great to have you here. Also in the house, ladies and gentlemen, the Premier of South Australia, Peter Malinauskas, is here. The man who is the architect of everything that's happening this week and over the last couple of years. It has just been the fillip that football needed, and Gather Round has been nothing short of sensational. Tonight, we're live from McLaren Vale, this magnificent part of South Australia, at the Darrenberg Cube. 3 times it's been voted the #1 tourist attraction in South Australia, South Australian Hall of Fame. The wine is magnificent. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give everyone from South Australia a big round of applause for being here. Welcome to the Fleurieu Peninsula. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be crossing to all parts of South Australia. We've got some of the biggest names in football and show business on the show tonight. But our panel is an A-grade team, no doubt about it. The man who won 2 premierships, was a 5-time All-Australian, 5-time Best and Fairest, and Australian Football League Hall of Famer. Put your hands together for James Hird.
Thank you. Hello, mate.
Hello, Hirdy. How are you, buddy?
Good, thank you.
Alongside Hirdy is the 2-time All-Australian, 2-time Adelaide Crows Best and Fairest, and captain of the Crows, the great man Rory Sloane.
Welcome, mate.
Thank you, Ed. Great to be here.
Good to have you, Rory. And the third musketeer is the man who was an All-Australian. He was a Best and Fairest, and he was a 5-time day and 5-time night premiership superstar, one of the greatest names in the history of the game. The kid, Dermott Brereton, is here tonight.
Hello, Ed. Hey, Rory.
I don't know if I can call you the kid anymore, Derm.
No.
You're limping up the stairs with someone else's knee.
Oh, yeah. I've got a brand new one, Ed.
You've got a brand new knee. How is the knee?
It's going good. It's about 47 days today. It's titanium, so, yeah, I think it's going to hang in. I'm a bit rusty elsewhere as well, so...
Is that right?
I don't think that's the last time I'm going in.
Hirdy, could you imagine in the old days with the titanium knee in those games against Essendon
Go
in
straight
the
through
84
someone's head,
grand
it would.
final?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you drove over in the magnificent Mitsubishi over there. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on. In fact, somebody here tonight is going to drive that car home.
Goes good, goes beautifully.
Left it in good shape.
Yeah, there's a couple of skiddies out the back.
You
but
didn't
no,
take it
we're-
out back of road, did you? I saw you were down in road. You didn't take it out the back there along the sand dunes?
A little bit of sand dune work, but no, it's in good nick. It's a beautiful vehicle.
Now, guys, just before you go on, Darren Berg has presented me with some beautiful wine that I want to present to you guys. Okay, so this one is for you, Hirdy. Given the fact you've got 2 titanium screws holding your foot together, that's the foot bolt.
Football.
Fantastic, wow. Looks sensational.
Nice.
Rory, this is for you, mate. The Sun Surfer white wine. There you go.
Two
One of the great.
Three things I love: sun, surf, and wine. There we go.
And Derm, because you did this more often in the football career than any other player in football, that is the dead arm you've given.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
You want one? You want a dead arm?
And
Oh, no, I'm better at giving them out. Yep.
Ed, the
Thank
laughing
you.
magpie, just for you, with the red sash across the front.
There-
I love the red sash
Yeah.
with the laughing magpie.
You know, it's just black and white with red. That's KFC and Emirates, baby, not a red sash.
That is a red sash.
That's it, the Magpies. All right, let's have a look. Let's take you around South Australia, everybody. Let's put up where we're going tonight. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. As you can see, we're starting off in the Fleurieu Peninsula right here. We're at the Darrenberg Cube in McLaren Vale. Sensational. Then we're going to go to the Star of Greece, one of the great restaurants in Port Lorunga. And then we're going down to Kangaroo Island at the Peninsula pub. Now, the last time we sent Brendan Fevola
Oh no.
out on, on a show like this, we nearly lost our licence and he was put off air for about 10 years. He's now absolutely reformed.
He's
we know
grown
that.
up. He's grown up.
He is a star of Melbourne radio on Fox FM on The Breakfast Show. We'll be crossing to the Fev, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit later on. Brendan Fevola.
Evolution.
Also, we're going to Mitch Georgiades and Tommy Worrell, who are going to be down. Have a look. There, the boys.
Josh?
Have a look at these. The boys are all ready to go, and maybe a special guest. Have a look at the backdrop there. That looks like it's...
It's one of the best beaches in the whole state. Port Wollonga, amazing beach, Star of Grace, best spot to go for a date night, Ed.
And then we're going to watch some of the stars of the AFL, Max Gawn, Jack Ginnivan and Jeremy Cameron as they tour around South Australia. Max looking very on
did
the
Max
horse,
get
the
on a
Brosser.
horse?
I don't know, the horse we got. Jack Ginnivan down the Fleurieu Peninsula, throwing a few waves, and then Jeremy Cameron hitting him off the tee. It's
He was at the cliffs. He was on Kangaroo Island.
Kangaroo
the cliffs.
Island.
Yeah, the new
Kangaroo Island playing
course
golf.
there.
What's it like there, Rory?
Kangaroo Island's beautiful. The most scenic
Look at
place
that.
I think you can go to in SA. Some of the most beautiful wildlife and a brand new golf course there too, Ed, which is
And
unbelievable.
Rory, I gave you one pick. I said, all right, we're coming to your hometown these days. You've been here for a long time. Belinda, we're going to speak to your wife a little bit later in the show. I said,
She
yeah,
was
right.
my one pick, wasn't she?
She was the first pick, okay. First, second and third. But we said you can have one guest. And who'd you pick?
No, there's only one man you can pick. There's no one bigger in SA. And I liken it. You guys mentioned like Tony Lockett, Gary Ablett, Jason Dunstall. This man is as big as those names in South Australia, and I think Australia should be recognised. But Tony Modra,
Wow.
the Godra of Adelaide, is in the house tonight. His home is the Fleurieu Peninsula. He loves his place more than anyone. But to have a nickname like Godra, gee, that must feel good.
He's a good player, I tell you. We're going to show some of his marks and his goals. People forget just how many great goals he used to kick. Derm, speaking of kicking goals, tell us about this magnificent car. You drove over from Melbourne, is that right?
I did. We took off, my partner Julie and I, we took off yesterday morning, left the MCG a little bit too early for my liking, but we got on the road, went for Mount Gambier first. I tell you what, I was thankful I didn't have to pay for the fuel these days, although this is very economical. Just a little bit dear on the road. There's a slap at the government. Not you, Peter, not you. But it is a magnificent vehicle. It's got a lot of bells and whistles, and it says one thing constantly: driver distracted when I was driving. Julie, when she had to drive, no problem.
No, I spoke to Julie tonight, and she said the car wouldn't shut up telling Dermott to concentrate. I said, it sounds like his mum, his teachers, his coaches, Alan Jeans, everybody over the journey.
It was, yeah. That's a beautiful vehicle.
Okay, let's have a look at the games for Gather Round, because that's what we're here for the football. And they are some rippers as well. What about this one? This is going to be a huge game. Adelaide and Carlton. Your guys can't...
massive game.
Your guys, the Crows, can't get it quite done yet. Thereabouts within a goal. Carlton, of course, well, you never know. They're like Pride at Jenny, except they can't get to the line. They're out in front far enough. They're getting it right early enough, but we'll talk about them a bit later on. On Friday, the big game, of course, that brings everybody together. Collingwood and Fremantle.
That's why everyone's in town, isn't it?
North Melbourne and Brisbane on Saturday. The Kangas are back in town. Essendon and Melbourne's a huge game for your Bombers, Hirdy. Sydney Swans and Gold Coast. Twilight at Norwood Oval, which is just a special place to be. Hawthorn and the Bulldogs is going to be the match of the round, basically, really, at Adelaide Oval. Geelong West Coast at Norwood. GWS and Richmond at the Barossa Oval. And then Port Adelaide and St Kilda.
That game in the Barossa, Ed, that's at 2:45 on a Sunday. What are you doing before 2:45 on Sunday? I think I'll be going out to a couple of wineries in the Barossa. And what a perfect way to end your day at the football, straight after a little wine talk.
It is just fantastic. This is what South Australia brings to you. Let's go now to Mitch Georgiades and to Josh Worrell. I think I called him Tom Worrell before.
You did.
Josh, sorry, Josh, I meant to call him. He said, Tom Worrell was one of the original cricketers, I think, in the... and he might have been
150 years ago.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Look at that.
Might have been a boxer. Anyway, that is magnificent there. Let's go to Josh Worrell, who, believe it or not, used to go to my old school, CBC St Kilda. We're old schoolmates together, Josh and I. So there we go. Good on you, Josh and Mitch. Welcome, guys. Tell us a little bit about the Star of Greece down there where you are at Port Wollonga.
Thanks, Eddie. Thanks for having us. Down here at Star of the Greece, and it's a pretty amazing spot. Obviously, you can see in the background, great beach. It's a lovely spot. I have the pleasure of heading down to Riley O'Brien's in-laws' house a fair bit, just in Aldinga, so I'd sort of classify myself as a local.
Fair enough. And Mitch, you played State of Origin football for Western Australia this year, which was a tremendous accolade for you. But, mate, they love you at that Port Adelaide. Tell me about living here and being able to go to these fantastic places not too far down the road from Adelaide City.
Yeah, it's beautiful here. And I was just touched, it's only an hour from the main city of Adelaide, and it certainly gives Perth a run for its money in its beaches. I mean, this is an amazing spot. The food looks great. So very lucky to be down here.
And Mitch, so you've had the swap over with coaches now. Ken versus Kari. For those of us that don't quite get the insights to what you guys have, what's the major difference between both coaches?
Yeah, I got asked this question the other day, and obviously besides their age, there's a fair bit of differences. I mean, Kenny was very emotionally driven, which we love, and he made us feel like at times we could run through a brick wall. And not saying that Josh doesn't do that, but he's probably more of a level-headed person, which is also great as well.
And Josh, you personally have had a fantastic start to the year, but it feels like there's too much ball getting down to your end of the ground. Is it a worry that you've only won 1 of 4 so far?
Not a worry. I think, I think we've shown in patches how good we can be. We'd love to put it together for a full game, but obviously it's a bit frustrating at the moment with the amount of ball that's coming down there.
Mitch, enough of the boring stuff. What's on the plate, mate? What are you going to tuck into?
Yeah, look, I haven't got the full rundown yet, but it looks like we've got some scallops of some varieties, some squid, and sort of, I think I want to say kingfish, but it looks great, so I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Josh, and just to digress back to footy, you've been on the end of a couple of sprays here and there. I know Tex has given you one, Lordo's given you one. Did Hirdy ever give you one when he was coach?
Nah, I don't know if Hirdy has that in him. Nah, Hirdy didn't give me one, unfortunately, but I probably deserve one back in the day.
No, he didn't, Josh. He's our best player by far.
Where was this?
Under 14s at Brown, I coached Josh for a year. He was the best player by far. He ran his own race. Ruck, half back, half forward, just ran all over the ground. He was a sensation for us. There's no way. How can you spray your best player?
Josh, you must be going well, mate, because I'm claiming as an old schoolmate, and Hirdy's saying he used to coach you. We're all trying to jump on the bandwagon.
Exactly.
Hey, by the way, the Star of Greece, it's not a Greek restaurant, by the way. It has beautiful Mediterranean foods, but it's named after a boat that was shipwrecked there in 1888, the Star of Greece. And, well, with that in mind, I think we've got a Star of Greece who's with us at the Star of Greece. Come in, is the great man there? Is he joining us? There he is, Anthony Koutoufides.
Hello, boys. Can someone order the Star of Greece? Look at this beautiful Greek food. Calamari.
Hey, Kouta, it's a double whammy for you. Kouta, it's a double whammy for you, mate, because it's the Star of Greece, your heritage. You're the only player who's actually been named in the Italian team of the century and the Greek team of the century. And, of course, it's a shipwreck, which is a bit like your old team, buddy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, I don't know. I like the first two comments, Eddie. I don't know about the last one. I've got a special little calamari here for Josh to make sure he doesn't play Thursday night. But, look, it is an honour to have both the Greek and Italian team of the century. And a lot of people laugh about it, but the Blues... Yeah, there's a lot to talk about there too, Eddie. I know you love it, mate. I'll tell you what, Collingwood, anyway, they're going okay. I can't say too much.
Pies are just going at the moment, but if you are just feeling a little bit down, Collingwood fans, have a look at Kouta calling on Blues radio the last couple of weeks.
Takes a look at the goal, flying shot, that's in.
Typical Carlton, all of a sudden we'd start to go missing again. We would have to be the slowest team when we get the ball.
Langdon plays on. They've put the cue in the Blues, unfortunately.
Kouta's into the calamari, the footy there. Good on you, Kouta. Great stuff, mate. Hey, the upside is you're actually putting yourself in positions to win. As a great of the Carlton Football Club, and for all the Carlton supporters watching tonight, what's the message you want to give them?
Look, obviously it's been a really tough season so far for the Blues. I mean, they've shown signs at half-time, you sit there and just go, wow, they've played incredible football. We don't know what it is, from the outside. People are saying, is it the coach, is it the training, is it the mental status of the players? We really don't know. But, we've been waiting for so long. We hope that the boys can turn it around. 3 years ago when they started playing good, I mean, the incline of their performance was incredible, almost making the grand final. So they've been thereabouts for a long time. I just feel sorry at the moment for Vossi, in all honesty. I mean, the pressure on him alone has been immense. And then the players, I can't even imagine how they feel at half-time. I reflect back, Eddie, 1995, and even when we were behind at half-time, we just knew we could get over the line and win. But at the moment, for the boys to go in half-time, and we sit in the Blues box, and, before half-time, we're thinking this is incredible. At half-time, we're sitting there thinking... Surely it's not going to happen every week, but it has been happening, unfortunately, for the boys.
Kouta,
so Thursday night,
two up from you there is Josh, mate. He's going, I don't care, mate. We're going to inflict more misery this week on Thursday night. Good on you, Josh. Hey, Josh, congratulations. You signed a contract till 2033, I believe, which for a Victorian boy coming over is a sensational performance. Well played. And to Mitch, who's already taken the mark of the year back in 2022, you're both building up wonderful careers. One day you might be like the bloke sitting next to you, an Australian AFL Hall of Famer, a Lee Matthews medalist for the Player of the Year and a Premiership player, because Anthony Koutoufides is one of the greatest players ever to pull on a bird and was spectacular in his time. Go on you, Kouta. Thanks, Mitch. Thanks, Josh. And we'll see you tonight at the Star of Greece. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And thanks to all our friends down there. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it is the Premier of South Australia, Peter Malinauskas, who hopefully is going to tell us how he's going to keep gather round in South Australia right after this. From Fleurieu, Peninsula, McLaren Vale, this is the Gather Round Spectacular.
Hi, I'm Max Gorn, and welcome to South Australia. This morning, went for a nice run on the trail, and now we're in Barossa, and decided to get on a horse. This is Zeppy, loves carrots. I love carrots as well, but yeah, South Australia is very blessed with wine and food.
I can't work out what I like more.
particularly the Watervale Hotel. Menu changes every day based on what's booming at the farm. All really tasty. Literally got that day, cooked that day, ate that day. It's a pretty cool way to eat.
Great stuff, and there's the cube at Darrenburg here in McLaren Vale, signifying the complexity and the mystery of making wine. I can tell you, inside is even more impressive as it is outside. It's a wonderful place to come if you're in South Australia. If you're coming over to watch the football, not only this weekend, but right throughout the year, if your team's playing Port Adelaide or Adelaide, make sure you come down to McLaren Vale and come here. It's just sensational. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome a man who is the Premier. He's just won his election. He is Peter Malinauskas, the South Australian Premier.
Thanks, Ed.
Hey, Peter, how are you, mate?
Very good, Ed.
Good to see you, Premier.
Good to see you.
Come and join us, mate.
Thank you.
Now, generally, traditionally, when a politician brings out the Premiership Cup at the MCG, they get booed off the ground just about. The fact that you're into another term, just coming off the election, and universally being given a round of applause, must not only make you feel fulfilled, but also underline what you've done with Gather Round these last few years, because coming over here the last few years as a Victorian, you come here, you get the sense of pride that you've put into the place, and also on behalf of the AFL, you have given us something extra to hang our hat on. It's been congratulations all round for the Premier. You did a great job.
Thanks. I'm just so happy for the state, Ed. South Australia's in a very different position today than where we were 10, 15 years ago. And Gather Round and footy has helped tell that story around the country. Like, we've got the fastest growing economy anywhere in the nation at the moment. And Gather Round just sort of provides an opportunity for everyone to look at South Australia differently. But the people who have made it happen isn't me or the AFL. It's punters who have just turned up in massive numbers. I mean, look at these images. But not just South Australians, but people travelling from around the country to experience footy in a very different grassroots and authentic way. And it's a great credit to all the people that put their hands in their pocket to pay for the petrol to drive across the border and enjoy the journey.
There's been sellout crowds, but also, you know, as a result of that, I love that, the panda bear with a Collingwood jumper on there, magnificent. Very nice of you to do that, Peter. But tell me about things...
I don't know if those ones mated or not.
Tell me about, as a result of that, you went and got Live Golf, and now you've got also the MotoGP coming down in about 12 months' time. How much of a change, as you said, has a step up for the pride of South Australia? It's the song for the Adelaide Crows, but it really is a pride of South Australia.
No, absolutely. Major events help us tell a story, right? And it just brings a bit of a different perspective on the role that South Australia plays in the Federation. And like, major events are a platform. They've got to justify their own existence in economic terms to be able to, underwrite the investment. But at the same time, every time someone around the country turns on the television and sees an image like this, they think something's going on down there. And that's because there is something going on down here. And for as long as we can keep telling that story, we're very keen for the rest of the nation to stand up and take notice.
OK, so where to now? Last year it was magnificent. You put a ground in the Barossa Valley. We're here in McLaren Vale. I mean, you can't put a ground everywhere. But is this something that you want to continue to do? And I suppose it does factor in whether or not you get an extension from the AFL, which makes perfect sense. You write the right check. The AFL should take the skin off your hand grabbing it, because it is absolutely fantastic here.
Yeah, look, my submission to the AFL is pretty simple. Like, we're willing to invest in Gather Round if they give us assurances about longevity. And if it's a year in, year out proposition, then I'm not going to invest and put at risk taxpayers' money. But if we know that we've got an event here for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then we can actually develop a pathway to growth in which way footy wins and South Australia wins, and then hopefully everybody else that comes and has a good time wins. So we just need that assuredness and confidence. But if the AFL make it a year in, year out proposition, then I think they do themselves a disservice, and also footy itself. So give us the long-term contract. We'll invest into the future and make more locations like the Barossa iconic for everyone to see footy in a different way.
And this part of the world as well. I've got some pictures here. It's just magnificent. We're going to see them right throughout the course of the night. But have a look at this. This is the Fleurieu Peninsula. Now, a lot of people like to go overseas. Clearly, that's not the option it once was at the moment with world events. But there's opportunity to come to these places that people don't even know about.
Well, who'd like footy in the Fleurieu?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind saying it, that we've put some opportunities in front of the AFL about how gather round can look into the future. We don't want to make it the same thing year in, year out. You've got to keep it fresh and new. You know that better than anybody. And we think footy down here could be part of that story, subject to the AFL giving us the confidence about what happens in the future. So that contract extension is really important. We've got a good working relationship with the AFL, but I've got a responsibility to do the right thing by my state, and we'll make sure we protect our interests every step of the way.
Have you enjoyed the show so far? Do you like the way we started in sunlight and now it's starting to have a nice sunset, and then we're going to finish with lights and all sorts of things and fireworks? A bit like what the AFL Grand Final could be if they started a little bit later.
Well, look, nothing beats grand final.
No.
Except gather round in full flight. Because you get all 18 teams here, right? So,
mate, you've got a little bit of trouble there with the earplug. Whack it in there, mate. Now, let me ask you to do this, because we've got the magnificent Mitsubishi that is made here in South Australia, manufactured in South Australia. Dermott's over there. He drove it over from... Hopefully, Dermott's on the sale of the Century model there. He went out with a few sale of Century models in his day, I must admit. Anyway... Peter,
he loves every second of that.
Pete, can I get you to read out 5 names from the audience who will step forward, and one of them will drive home the Mitsubishi a little bit later in the show. But they're the names that we've drawn out. And let's read out the name and give them a round of applause one at a time.
All right, first one, Danielle Zervis. All right, Jasmine Allen. All right, Jasmine. Jack Church. Lisa Johnston. And last but not least, Jono Anderson.
Oh, there he is. Have a look at it. John, he's got a Collingwood cap on. Congratulations, you've won the car. Anyway, I hope that's a Collingwood hat. It is. Premier, you said before that you've put a menu in front of the AFL. Can you give us a little bit of insight? If all went well, what would be the picture that you'd like to paint for Gather Round future?
Imagine Gather Round 3 or 4 years from now, Ed, where every single footy fan around the country is saying one simple thing to their kids: we're going to gather round. It's on the bucket list. We have to do this. And they're only going to do that if they can get a truer experience of having all 18 clubs in one place at one time, right? And I haven't yet seen, I think, Gather Round fully come to life in that context. Like, you can go to a lot of different games and have a great experience, but we don't have any part of Gather Round yet where all 18 clubs are in one physical place that all fans can come and see. So without giving too much away, we've put something in front of the AFL that hopefully inspires them to invest in South Australia to really bring that moment to life. And that would be something that I think every AFL fan across the country wants to be part of, and we want to make it happen for them. They've just got to invest their faith in us, just as they did 4 years ago. And if they do that, I think we're going to do something pretty special.
Premier, congratulations on everything you've done so far. We wish you good luck, because without being obsequious, we actually really believe this has been something special, and there are other things that the other states can do, but this one has found its spot, and you've done a great job with it. And the fact you want to make it even bigger and better, well, that's fantastic. Congratulations on everything.
Thanks very much.
Peter Malinauskas, the Premier of South Australia. Stick with us, mate, because we've sent Brendan Fevola down to Kangaroo Island, OK? That's coming up shortly. There he is. Have a look at Fev.
Cops on their way.
The Fevolution has arrived on Kangaroo Island, ladies and gentlemen. And as we go to the break, Jeremy Cameron gets a taste of what South Australia is all about.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Cameron and welcome to South Australia. It's incredible to be one of the first to play at the Cliffs on Kangaroo Island. Magnificent views, as you can probably see here behind me. The course is amazing. Been able to roll a few in, which is nice, but I just love the rolling waves along the cliffs. That's pretty special in itself, but to have the wildlife all around you, kangaroos hopping. This place is magnificent. It's a pretty magical place, Kangaroo Island, and I can't wait to come back for sure.
Hi, I'm Jack Higgins and I'm on a road trip in South Australia. First time on the farm, obviously stayed at Worrell Windy Escapes, elite views, elite sleep, all off grid. It's the best time I had out here. I got to meet a few of the livestock here and meet peaches, so that was a great experience. Farmer Dave's already got me to work. How good. Dave drove us around the farm, he showed us around, got to know where the food comes from and how beautiful it is and how big. It really surprised me, and then at the end of the night, we went up the deck, we had a lovely cheese board and watched the sun go down.
Welcome back to Gather Round here at Dunberg at the magnificent Cube. Wonderful wineries all around. Molly Duke around the corner, SC Peninsula, just to name a few, Derm. They're just fantastic. The old velvet glove, you like that one, mate?
Well, I even got lost in the way. You know, I almost came in through the rear entrance. But no, made it around in the end. Got here in the Outlander.
All right, well, let's have a look at Dermott's. Before I do that, by the way, congratulations to Jack Higgins, who plays his 150th game. We just saw Jack there.
Yeah,
Star. Jackie.
Absolute star.
Great effort for a bloke who had brain surgery in the early part of his career. So well done to Jack Higgins.
Used to coach against him when I coached my son. Yeah. Everything of every team in that comp just went, how do we stop? Here you go. No one did.
No one did.
Yeah, he was a star then.
All right, mate, you drove over from Victoria in the magnificent Mitsubishi Motors there. Take us through your road trip from the MCG.
Well, OK, a pie and sauce and everything on the way, and got to Mount Gambier. Robe, how beautiful is Robe? That's one of the towns you actually get to and you say, I could live there someday.
Really?
It is stunning, it is stunning. Murray Bridge, we know what happens there. They used to have the punt across Mount Barger, Darrenbow Cube, where we are now. So, look, it was wonderful. This was the start. This was at the MCG yesterday in the Outlander. Julie and I got on the road. And you might even hear a few bells and whistles go off here, and it keeps saying, eyes on the road, don't get distracted. So, and obviously met some of the locals. That was in, I said cheers, biggies. Sorry, Jules. Mount Gambier, and some of the locals came up and said hello. See that first plate? I smashed it by mistake. This is at Robe. It is a beautiful, beautiful seaside town. He's a lefty and going to be hard to play in about 8 years. And this dude...
Oh, no, not again.
No. Not quite, Ed.
Not like the old days.
No, we've mellowed a little bit along the way. So that's Robe there itself, and the big lobster. Alan Jeans was called Yabby because his brother was big and red, and he was a lobster.
He was the lobster?
He was the lobster. That's why Yabby got called Yabby. And we ended up here at the Cube. So, yeah, great time I had on the road. Thank you to Mitsubishi for letting me drive the car. Wonderful.
Hey, just a quick one.
It's idiot-proof too, so that's how I got here.
How'd you go with the electronic vehicle on a decent trip?
No, this was a...
Oh, you had the petrol one?
Yeah, petrol one.
In that case, there goes the budget for the next 3 years.
Sorry about that. Yeah, hybrid.
Hey,
great.
You're also doing the Shane Warne legacy. Now, a lot of people may not realise that Warney, we know he broke for St Kilda because he played in the under-19s at St Kilda and was just loved our great late mate Trevor Barker. But he originally barracked for Hawthorn, and why Warney wore number 23 is because his favourite player that he loved was you, who wore number 23. So going all the way back again to the Shane Warne legacy, it must have actually had a bit of poignancy for you.
Absolutely. So, I mean, they reached out to me and said, being an ambassador for some time, as yourself, Ed, and they asked me, would it fit? And I said, yeah, well, it's a footy carnival here in South Australia. And the Premier, who was just on, Peter Malinauskas, kindly allows everyone who gets tested. That is at the courtesy of the South Australian government. So put your hands together for the South Australian government because... Well, thank you for that, because most of the people getting tested are the Victorians who can't afford to go to the GP back there. No, I'm only serious. And they come here and they get a free test, and you get the follow-up if you need be. And there are people there, the medical staff on hand. So
might be a few people lining up to give you the test away you go.
Last year we tested 9,645, hoping to break the 10,000 at 52 stations around Gather Round.
Hey, can we just get a wide shot of, have a look at this sunset. This is what we're talking about, having a twilight grand final. I'm not going to hammer the point home much. But have a look, just look at that. It's absolutely spectacular.
It is McLaren Vale, though, Ed. I don't know if that's going to happen over Jollymont, that sunset.
Oh, yeah, it does. But let's go down to Kangaroo Island. As we said, we've sent the great Brendan Fevola down to Kangaroo Island. Look at this place. It's just
stunning.
Unbelievable. I keep saying this. We've been coming over a few years now, and every time we come over, we discover somewhere even better than the last place. Where is he? The great man, the Fevolution. Where are you, Fev?
Here we go. We're at Kangaroo Island. We're at the Penny Shore Park. We're here, 120-year-old pub. How good's this? It is pumping here, Eddie.
And is that your daughter Toby with you there, Fev?
Yeah, little Tobes. I've got the family here, Schnooksy, Lenny, Lulu. I've dragged them along and we've had a wonderful time here at Kangaroo Island the last couple of days. It's been amazing. Look at the crowd, mate.
Fev,
and all the
us
kids
through.
are in here and all the parents are at the bar. It's
Yeah,
going
fair
great.
enough, as it should be. Now, mate, tell us about Kangaroo Island. You've done all sorts of things from gin tasting to playing golf and everything else in between, the oyster farm. Take us through your last couple of days there in Kangaroo Island, what it's meant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mate, yesterday we went out, we actually watched some sea lions and then we went out to the gin distillery and myself, Lenny and Alex made our own gin. We tasted all the gins there. I liked the OG gin, which was the number, and a koala gin, which was beautiful, all made here, and we got to make our own. Put in a little 250ml bottle we get to take home and cork, and I've already drank mine, so hopefully Alex and Lenny have still got theirs, but it's been an amazing experience. We went out to the oyster farm today, and that was unbelievable. Big seafood platter. We had the lobster, the prawns were unbelievable, and then I shucked some oysters, which was great. I was pretty average at that, and but they went down pretty well. So played a bit of golf, Ed, which was unbelievable out at the cliffs. It's going to be finished in October and could be one of the best courses I've played on, all on the cliff top. You saw earlier on with Jeremy Cameron playing there. I did have him covered, almost hit a hole-in-one and nearly broke the course record today. So
There's only 9
I drank
holes
the gin
completed.
before I played golf, so that didn't happen. But it's been an amazing experience. I'm here at Peninsula and this pub's 100 years old. It's been unbelievable. The family's had a great time and I've got something for you, Ed. I saw Zak Merretts' wife go to Gimlet half-time last week. Now, I tell you, all the Essendon wives and partners, don't bother going to your game. Just come over here to Kangaroo Island and experience everything we've done.
Good on you, mate. It's not a bad idea. Could be a big one for the Bombers fans. Hey, Fev...
the kids having a ball.
Well, mate, as you said, it's a great place to take the family. There's so much to do. Now, I've got to ask you, Fev, you're on the radio on your top-rating show, Fox FM Breakfast, doing great things with Fifi Box and all the team down there. And, mate, you had a bit of a crack at the coach of Carlton, Michael Voss. I mean, you think about these things deeply. You love the Carlton Football Club. Where do you see your club at the moment? What do you think they need to do? Many people just say, hey, just cool your jets, circle the wagons. Don't do stupid things at the moment, because if you sack the coach now, the next coach probably won't want to come because you've got too much of a history. What do you see? How do you read the play from your inside knowledge?
Yeah, it's a great question, Ed. It's the million-dollar question, isn't it? But, you know, the Blues are struggling. You know, if Tommy Lynch had a kick straight, we'd be zipping 4. You know, we've got a great list. Or do we have a great list? We've got some good players. I'm not sure how Thursday night's going to go. I'm going to be there. I think with if Adelaide get a hold of the Blues, you know, they're not going that well as well, because I've seen a few Adelaide people here. They're feral. They're absolute. They're feral. All these Crow supporters here. But if they take care of the Blues on Thursday night. You don't want to sack the coach, because it's not all about the coach, it's about the players as well. And if they're not performing on the field, it's not always the coach's fault. But I think the way we've gone down the last year and a half, I think that it might be time for change. But it is going to be rough, because then we run into your mob, Ed, the next week, so you don't want a new coach running into that. So we'll see what happens. But I think if the Blues can get up, it'll keep Vossi safe for a little bit longer. But if they get beat, it might be curtains.
So, Brendan, as a former legend of the club, being realistic, what do you want to see happen for the rest of this year? Realistic.
Maybe turn up in the second half, Derm. That might be good. It's been a couple of fade outs for the last couple of. You know, it was pretty prevalent this time last year, but. I just want the player. I said it on my radio show and Fifi, Fev and Nick, that I just want the players to play for Vossi. I don't know the inner sanctum of what's going on, and you'd be aware of this, Derm. You know, once you leave, you don't know too much of what's going on in the inner sanctum. But you want those players just to go out there and have a bloody crack. They're 1-3. You don't want to go 1-4. We haven't won. I think the only game we've won at Adelaide Oval was against Fleurieu in Gather Round a couple of years ago, and I think there was a dubious free kick that got paid to us. But if we can go out there and put on a good show, just for Vossi and obviously the coaching staff as well, but it's not just the coaching staff, it's all the staff that are there. Everyone feels it, past players, current players, family members. Carlton's a great club, and Ed would know this, 16 premierships. As you know, Derm, Hawthorn's a great club, and when, you know, Carlton, Essendon and those sort of teams are down the bottom, it's not as fun. It's probably fun for you, Ed, seeing those two down there, but hopefully they have a crack and make the supporters proud. But if they put in a stinker, it could be the end.
All right, mate, we'll leave you with that thought. Head to the bar. Enjoy yourself, mate. Kangaroo Island looks absolutely magnificent. As I said to you, Fev, the last time they said go to the bar on one of these shows, we didn't see you for 5 years. So can we make sure that we just keep a slight lid on it, okay? And, mate, have a great
don't
time.
worry, I've already had about 10 Stone and Wood. I've already had about 10 Stone and Woods, Ed, and I put it on your tab.
Thank you, mate.
Yeah, let's go, Brad!
No pressure points for him this time. No pressure points.
I wasn't going to say it, just in case.
He's gone now.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back. Koutoufides got all the news, breaking news in football. Right after this, look, it gets better and better here at the Cube at Darrenberg, at the magnificent Fleurieu Peninsula, right here on the 9 Network.
Still to come, more footy news and preview. South Australian footy icon Tony Modra. It's time to give away a brand new Mitsubishi. And don't forget Sneaky Soundsystem. They're back to perform another classic hit. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Jack Inman and welcome to South Australia. Checked into this amazing location. I've got a sauna in my backyard, so that's pretty cool. And then obviously the pool, and the sun was out today, so laying in the sun was an epic, yeah. Went down to the beach, had some fish and chips, and also went to Pippi's and also a quad bike session. Obviously doing it with my best mate Sam was pretty fun, and yeah, racing him around the dirt tracks is always a bit of fun.
Wonderful scenes as the sun's finished setting in the background now, heading into darkness. Beautiful scenes here at the Fleurieu Peninsula. This is Gather Round 2026, and Cal Twomey joins us from AFL.com. Give Cal a big round of applause.
Good to be here, Ed.
Welcome, Cal.
It's a pleasure. How good's this?
It's unbelievable, isn't it? This is what's so great about Gather Round. It's what we call shoulder programming. It's not just the game, because basically once you bounce the ball, the game can look the same. Doesn't matter necessarily where it's being played, but it's all this and getting out to people who don't often get to see all these type of big-time television shows, etc. There's so much more to it, and that's the economic impact from that side of things, but it's the fun of football that we've got to maintain. So well done to everyone for being here tonight. Cal?
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Now let's get back to the serious business. What's happening in the world of footy?
Well, we can reveal tonight, Eddie, that a new suitor has emerged for Zak Butters. So
that's a good news for the South Australians.
Don't be dropping that to this crowd.
Sorry to the Port Adelaide fans in the house, but Richmond is the new club that we can talk about tonight, because the Tigers are cashed up. They're understood to be willing to put forward an offer that would be the biggest in footy history to lure him to their football club. As I say, they've got money, and they've managed to manage their cap really well over the past couple of years, clearly as a young list. So they are able to be able to front-end a potential deal for him, and they've created space under the spending rules there. So clearly they're seen as the outsiders. We think the Western Bulldogs and Geelong are leading the race for Zak Butters, but the Tigers, through their youth and their future plans at Punt Road Oval, are seeing themselves as a chance.
Is he going to do what Juddy did that time and go around? I actually sat in the meeting on that when Juddy came, and we actually had to present to him to see if he would come to our club.
Well, it might be a bit of that.
Which was fair enough too, but at that stage he knew he couldn't go anywhere else, and then Dick Pratt came in with an ambassadorship for Vizzy that sort of knocked everybody out of the way, signed off by Mike Fitzpatrick, former champion Carlton Premiership player. But anyway, what's going to happen with this? Will he go around and... I mean, they're doing it anyway. That's why you have managers. But eventually, do you think he'll go around and talk to the various clubs?
Yeah, I think so, and that's the next step later in the season. He's not in a rush to make a decision here, Rory, and he's playing his heart out. He's a standing captain at the moment. What would your advice be to him?
Look, I want to see him stay. Like, I'd love him to stay for South Australian Port fans. Yes, absolutely. But for me, it does. It seems like the Dangerfield scenario where he's going to play his heart out for this team for 8 years, including this year as captain. But I can't see him staying, especially with some of those big offers coming from Western Bulldogs and Richmond.
And Cal, how much? I mean, to get Zak Butters to your club, you're going to need at least 1.5, potentially more. Are we looking up over 2 or not?
Potentially if you're Richmond. So they are willing to get to a level, I believe, that it'd be 1.8 upwards and over a length of 8 years plus. So in saying that, Port Adelaide put an offer to him last year that would have been the biggest in history had he signed that too. Yeah. So Port aren't going to be bounced out of this one from a money point of view. It's the lure of home that he's weighing up.
This time last week, we saw a shot that when you guys had the plasma up, looking at Nick Daicos, and you joked that I was moving better than you. I was moving better than him, yeah. And that was it there. Now, we looked at that and said, there's no way he's going to play in 2 days' time. And he went up to Queensland on the Thursday and ran around looking basically like that.
What are you laughing?
He looked like he needed to go to the toilet.
Yeah, he does, actually. Maybe he did too.
When he ran off, I tell you what, there was about 1.2 million Collingwood supporters who headed to the toilet as well. But what's going on? Is he going to be right to play this week? Because it's a big game Friday night against Fremantle, who are powering at the moment, Fremantle. Moore's out. Pendlebury will be back in, but will Nick Daicos play?
Still touch and go, Ed. So he has to train tomorrow at Collingwood to get through. They're still not overly confident just yet. He wants to play. He's going to think that he's ready to get up for Friday night, but he always, as the player, they always think they're ready to go. But they're going to be pretty cautious with this one.
Boys, I've got to ask you. I mean, look, I've been covering this game a long time. You don't come back in a week from a calf.
No, but why push him? What I understand, why push him when you risk further injury, straining the calf? He's the best player in the competition. Why would you risk him at this stage?
Especially those corks. There could be a tear hiding underneath that you can't quite see with all the blood in there. But that midfield group needs to stand up on the back of him not being there. I thought last week they just didn't quite get their defensive pressure right around that midfield.
He's a competitor, but sometimes you just have to stop the great players from themselves, really, don't you? I think Collingwood, in the best interest of Nick Daicos, stop him from playing this week, get him right for the week after.
All right, I want to ask you a question,
yes.
James Hird, Essendon, superstar that you are. What was your reaction when I sent you I think it was a TikTok that somebody obviously
You're on
sent
TikTok.
No, somebody sent it to me. I can tell you. But it was sent of Alexandra Merrett leaving at halftime and sending her own photo out. Here it is here at Gimlet. I can understand why you want to go to Gimlet. Andrew McConnell's restaurant is one of the best restaurants in the world. But this was at 50 points down at halftime. Now, I just want to get your reaction. What was your reaction?
My first reaction to your message was wow, because I didn't understand it. But the more I delved into it, I'm sick of the Zak Merrett bashing. He's been the best player they've had this year. His performance with the ball and against the ball has been the best so far this year. And I just see a woman who's sticking up for her husband and is sick of the bashing that he's copping, sick of the bashing that she's copping. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Because Zak Merrett is a wonderful person. His wife's a wonderful person. And that just, to me, was put yourself in her shoes. She's having a family bash. She's getting bashed herself. Leave them alone and let them get on with their lives.
We've all been in that situation and watched it many times over the years. Do you think, though, that it was wise to, as I say, using my vernacular, to put your head in the lion's mouth and pull its tail? I mean, you can make that point and not do it, but not do it on TikTok at halftime when Essendon fans are going berserk everywhere.
Maybe you can, make him in a different way. But in this instance, she's standing up and she's standing up. So I think from a football, we're all educated in a football sense to actually say, we do it this way. And she said, no, stuff it. I'm going to do it my way. And, maybe it's worked to get people to leave them alone.
We're going to hear from your wife a little bit later on. But Belinda Sloane, who is a presenter in her own right, what are the pressures for a modern woman in modern football these days?
They're massive. I would have told Belinda to leave at quarter time, I think, of that game, or maybe not even show up too, because that game was always got to be one-sided.
They've lost 17 in a row. She's in her own right not to go, surely.
Yes, I would have said, no, maybe just sneak through this one. Come later in the year.
She should have been applauded for turning up in the first half.
Go to Gimlet at lunch, stay all night, don't go to the game.
Cal, what about you, mate? Have you got any thoughts from a media point of view? How's it been received around the town?
I was probably a surprise, I think, Ed. The storyline had died down a little bit with Zak Merrett over the past couple of weeks. Now it's back in the news. So this is a storyline that Andrew McGuire had to then talk about the following day. I think it's probably unnecessary in that point of view.
That's the only thing I'd have is just the Bombers got enough going on without having anything else. Understand the less than silent protest, and as you said, the women in football cop enough along the journey that if they can get a night out on a Friday night, good luck to them.
I'd say good on her.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Tony Modra. Yeah, there he is.
Welcome back to the Gather Round Spectacular. I'm here at RK, one of Adelaide's most premium dining experiences. And I'm lucky enough to be joined by executive chef and co-owner Jake Kelly. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Nell, how are you?
Good. Now, firstly, a big congratulations because RK has just been named number 16 in the world for best steak restaurants.
Cheers, thank you. Yeah, huge surprise, and stoked with number 16. Got an amazing team here at the restaurant to make that happen, and very, very proud.
And you pipped Victoria.
We pipped Victoria big time.
Yes,
by a
love
few too.
that.
Yeah.
Now, Gather Round, it's a big week for South Australians, Norwood Food and Wine Festival as well. How important is it to restaurateurs like yourself?
Yeah, look, it's massive. You know, being on the parade and having Norwood Food and Wine Festival here on Sunday is massive for the restaurant. You know, we're full lunch and dinner coming into Thursday for the rest of the week. So yeah, it's massive and it's great for the state as well.
And a little bonus is going to have burgers down at Norwood Oval, so get down there and try those. I can take those.
There we go.
I did see some familiar faces over here earlier. Hi, ladies. Hello. How are we for you? I'm just going to pull up a chair if you don't mind.
Join us.
Now, some familiar faces, as I said, AFLW's very own co-captain, Ed Marinoff, and then two-time Best and Fairest winner, Port Adelaide's Matilda Scholes. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
What a spread.
I'm super excited for this. Can't wait to get into it.
Now, I saw you both getting amongst South Australia this week. You were on a horse and you're on a jet ski with some questionable goggles.
They were very beautiful, I thought. It was stunning. Port Adelaide had a lot to offer and got to see some pretty cool dolphins.
Now, both South Australian girls, born and bred, you're one thing that people have to do when they come to South Australia.
Oh, the horse riding was pretty cool, but I think going down to the coast, down like Port Wollonga, even Rapid Bay is so beautiful.
Oh, agree. Love it down there. Limestone Coast as well.
I'm probably going up to Harndorf, Beerenberg, doing a bit of strawberry picking, and then the lolly shop in Harndorf on the way home.
Oh, you're real sweet tooth.
Yeah, or maybe a German hot dog in Harndorf. They've got a good German pub there.
You do it all?
Yeah.
Do it all. Love that. Well, ladies, I'm going to let you tuck into this incredible spread. What's your go-to here? I think you're going to go for the tomahawk.
Yeah, well, if I get some, I don't know. It might
All right, well, if you're lucky enough to be joining us here in our beautiful state of South Australia for Gather Round, make sure you get down to RK in Norwood and also get out there and experience everything that our beautiful state has to offer. Back to you, Eddie.
Thank you, Belinda. The wonderful Belinda Sloane there, doing great things on South Australian radio. Your wife is as well.
She is. She's loving her role on radio at the moment too. And yeah, she's down in the crowd tonight experiencing all this as well, so she wouldn't miss this for the world.
Hey, and by the way, don't forget on Sunday, if you're in South Australia, down at Norwood, the Norwood Festival's on. 11 o'clock at Norwood Parade, and then all throughout the day, just the Food and Wine Festival down there. Sunday, April 12. Make sure you get down. Good spot.
Great spot, yeah. Plenty of food and wine, obviously, but it's a brilliant footy oval to watch footy as well. So they'll pack that out a few times this week.
Okay. All right. Who was your favourite player as a young bloke watching?
Well, I was a massive Saints fan. But when I was running around the house and taking hangers on the couch, because I couldn't take hangers in real life, I'd be screaming out one name.
Yeah?
It was Modra!
Let's have a look at this.
Modra takes off early and hangs on and holds it. Hung there forever. Modra with a fly, he's taken it. Modra at the back. Oh, look at that. Tony Modra's taken a screamer. Modra. That is the mark of the year. Modra. Oh. He's in the box seat, Modra. One-handed. Hawking. What a mark. Modra's going to fly at the back. Up he goes. Oh, yes. Oh, you can see him looking at the back. And Modra's the height.
Oh, yeah, the Fleurieu's favourite son. It's Tony Modra.
Hey, Mods. Welcome, mate.
There are certain footballers over their journey when all you have to do is say their name and people smile. And Tony, you're one of them, mate, because you have just been one of the great players and brought so much joy to so many people. Even the Port Adelaide supporters are giving you a round up there, mate. Hey, welcome to your backyard, or thank you for welcoming us to your backyard, more to the point.
It's great to be here, and I was actually born at McLaren Vale, so that's even more special. So, yeah. I don't know if the hospital's still operational, but yeah, it's great to be back.
What does he mean to Adelaide supporters, Rory?
I think everything. Like I said earlier, I gave you a good pump up. I'm not sure if you're listening, but everyone talks about Ablett, Dunstall, Lockett in Victoria. But Tony Modra here is the biggest name here by far, Hirdy. And everyone talks about the king of Adelaide's prosciutto, but imagine being named Tony Godra.
Exactly. Well, we showed some highlights before. They weren't even his best marks. I mean, have a look at these, Tony. Take us through, what was it that you could pick in the air to just go like that? You had the natural leap, but it's the judgment. Look, you're up that little split second earlier than the full back, and you just sit on their heads. It's unbelievable.
Think it was, probably the quicker you can read where the ball flight and where it's going to land, the more chance you've had of, setting up your flight for the ball. So, I mean, I had one coach out there.
What's his goal? What's his goal here? So Mod's kicked it.
It's kicking in danger.
What's this? Don't worry about that. Play on.
You were a good sportsman.
MCG, have a look from the boundary line. That is as good a goal as you'll ever see.
I don't know what I was thinking there. I was sort of thinking, I was thought about handballing. I thought, what am I doing?
Yeah, you
How
never
many handballs did you actually have in your career?
Hirdy, just on that.
Not many.
Hirdy, you did a bit of ballet as a young bloke coming through.
Yes.
But the last 4 goals were just great soccer goals. Mod, you started off playing a bit of soccer as a young kid, didn't you?
I did. Like I said, I was born in McLaren Vale, went to Christie's Beach Primary with Nigel Smart, but I mainly played soccer at a young age. And it wasn't until I moved to the Riverland that everyone was playing football, so I changed codes. So.
Imagine being a midfielder kicking at Tony Modra. All these forwards complain about forward entry kicks and these midfielders miss their target. All you have to do is put it in the vicinity and you'll go and do the work.
Mods, can I ask you about the soccer background on that, though? We see a lot of the great players have actually not come from generational Australians. They've been first generation. A lot of them played soccer from the Daicoses through the Jesselenko, Rochelle, yourself, that type of thing. How much did that help you as a kid coming up playing a bit of soccer?
Oh, probably helped me. Well, you didn't realise at the time, but yeah, just watching the ball on the ground, you think, I can probably kick it from there. I mean, it was a bit of a different shape, but yeah, it worked most of the time.
You played on some really mean defenders, Mick Martin, there was Silvani. Was there one that you just loved taking a hanger on more than any other?
Mickey Martin was hard. he was solid. He's the sort of bloke you couldn't nudge out the way, so you had to do something. So yeah, he jumped over the top of him pretty much.
The one in the goal square you took against him, so you seem pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look 5 minutes earlier on, I took a half-decent hanger on him then, and I played on about 5 metres out and missed it, and he had a big crack at me then. So I said, I better try again. So yeah, about 10 minutes, the ball came down again, took that one there and kicked it. After that, and I was pretty happy with that, and I said, I'm going to have to go out and buy you a beer afterwards.
Now, I had to do a bit of research. I wanted to do some digging and find out some of my best Modra stories. Yeah. And there was one, you had Graham Corns coach you, and you had a bit of a blow-up with Graham. I think it was on a Monday. Oh, no. And you're like, stuff you, Graham. I'm not coming to training at all week. I'm not playing for you anymore. See how you go. It took till Friday that day for the leaders to convince Graham to come round to your house, where you may have been eating a few KFC chicken wings out of there and a bit of red wine in your footy shorts. And he convinced you to play the next day. How many goals you kicked that next day? I know how many, so be honest.
13.
13, yeah. After not training all week, had a blow with the coach, he came out and kicked 13. So you used to get away with a lot back then, Mods.
Yeah, it was on Silvani too. So, I mean, that was... to his fairness, I only kicked 8 on him and then he got taken off and I had someone else.
Now, you told me a story in the ad break. You got to ask, tell the story.
Well, there is another story.
The Fremantle story.
Yeah, the Fremantle. So you moved to Freo, and then the Fremantle boys, a few boys rocked up to training. They saw Mods leaving and they're like, where's Mods going? Asked the coach, hey, where's Mods today? And the coach is like, no, he's called in sick. Like, no, he's not. He's got the combi. He's got the boards on the roof. I think he's heading down south. Again, missed main session.
I don't know where you get your information from.
Came back again, day of game. And how many goals you kicked that day?
I don't know. Enough to win.
11. There you go. So you could do it all.
And is it true you got chased out of the car park by one of your other coaches?
No.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Which coach of Adelaide chased you out of the car park?
But, it was through that 95, 96 area. Things weren't going to plan. So we went out that night with the boys. We had a few drinks and everyone started opening up saying the coach is no good, he's this, that and everything else. So I basically wanted to nip it in the bud, got on the phone about midnight to Bill Sanders and I said, Bill, we've got an issue here. No one likes the coach. He goes, come and see me in the morning when you've sobered up. So the next morning I went in there to his office. I said, Bill, so what are we going to do? And he goes, just take it easy, don't worry about it, everything's going to be fine. And I go, but there's an issue. And then next thing I look over my shoulder and the coach, you can mention the name if you want, the coach just walked in there. I didn't realise he was there listening to everything I said. He goes, what's the problem, Mods? And I said, you apparently. So I've jumped in the car, Bill's settled the situation. I've jumped in the car, I've driven out of Footy Park, and then next thing, beep, 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 I look around in my mirror and his coach is following me, trying to get me to pull over. I rang my manager and I said, what do you want me to do? He goes, keep driving.
Can we get the initials of the coach?
Oh, no, I'm not saying anything. I'm saying right out of it.
Was it Essendon too?
Yeah, he was a good coach. I liked it. Anyway, I'm not going to mention him.
His initials were Robert Shaw, wasn't it?
No. Hey, speaking of 95, you got told some news in the 95 season about your knee that eventually popped in 97?
Yeah, it's funny. So 97 in the prelim, I did my knee, but I actually heard it 2 years before down at Geelong. 1995, I got twisted back on it. Went and got an arthroscope. They said, you've torn 3/4 of your anterior cruciate. What do you want to do? And I said, well, probably get it fixed. And he goes, but there's still a quarter left. You might as well keep playing until it goes. So it lasted another 2 years and went in the prelim. So a bit unlucky.
That's
but
called unlucky timing, Ed.
It is what it is.
Well, I tell you what, Mods, both in Fremantle, but particularly here in Adelaide, you're absolutely sensational. Now, we're going to put some vision up because these days you love to get out in the boat with your mates and have a look at that. There you are doing. Now, I've been
they'll be happy with this. They're here too, King O and Simo.
Yeah. Now, I heard you went crayfishing and came up with nothing. Is that right? You end up having KFC rather than crayfish that night. Is that right?
No, we'll just blame that on the algae bloom on it.
Rub it in, Ed. We're trying to recover here.
It's always good to get a bit of colour in those pots, but if it doesn't happen, we just enjoy having a beer over at Rhode Island there. So
Mate, we're going to put some vision up as well. This is you on the farm. So tell us, what are you doing these days?
So that's my place here, which I love to go down and, just relax here when I can. I actually bought that place back in 96, I reckon, so I've had about 30 years now, and that's Waipenga Beach in the background there. Obviously bought it for that reason, because I used to surf, so yeah, it was all good fun.
Do you still get in the water now?
There's my old truck there, yeah. I'm getting emotional when I see that. I miss that truck, so yeah. It's good. I was actually I couldn't help myself this morning. I got a phone call from my mate. He wanted me to cart some cows, so I'm looking at my watch and I fitted it in. I drove to Clarendon, picked them up, took them to Mount Compass, and then raced home, got changed and come here. So
fantastic.
Made it happen. Made it
work. Just for us.
And Mods, when you look back on your career, what's the thing you like to have a little bit of a smile about? What was the great part of your life as a footballer?
I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I see that car there now. Now everyone's got a chance to win that, have they? The Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
Like, I've got to admit, probably winning a couple of cars in my time were good. I mean,
3 times mark of the year.
Mitsubishi Magnas. I mean, don't really want spruce, but I'm not whinging either because I remember.
It's a great surf car.
Nick Natanui, he got Mark of the Year 1 year supply of Wheat Bix. So. I'm quite happy with my Mitsubishi Magnas.
But Ed, having played on the same field as Mods at Adelaide Oval, at Footy Park when you're playing, and in the opposition, whenever the ball went down there, the Adelaide crowd were just absolutely wild for you. It was actually a very special experience to be on the other team and hear how incredible they loved you. I've never seen a group of supporters love a guy and scream for him the way they did you at Footy Park. It was pretty incredible.
Well, we did get the opposite though, didn't you? When you go to Melbourne and everywhere else, you used to get stuck in here, but we nip it in the bud early, kick a lot of goals, and it shut them up.
Well, you're on the same ground as Mods. Dermott and I were at Jopling's on one night with him. He was magnificent there too. So.
I wasn't going to mention a couple of nightclubs in Melbourne where it was, but I thought I'd leave that one out.
Drew reckons he's never paid for a drink in his life.
Hey, Mods, it's just, seriously, we've just been all smiling all day knowing you're coming on because we love watching your highlights, but love catching up with you, mate. You've just been one of the great characters of football. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Tony Modra.
Thanks, guys.
When we come back, hey Mods, when we come back, we're going to give away that car to somebody here tonight. This is Gather Round in South Australia.
My name is Jeremy Howe. Welcome to South Australia. I've been fortunate enough to stay at the Monado Safari Resort. My favourite moment so far is just seeing the smiles on the kids' faces. What this place provides is just so many good things to see. I think, you've got the appealing part of the pool that's out the front of the restaurant. The rooms are incredible, but just seeing all the animals and like watching Xander Saxon, he's only 8 months old, but his eyes lights up every time he sees the animals. And it's just an experience I can't speak highly enough.
Welcome back to the Cube here at Darrenburg in the magnificent Fleurieu Peninsula. Look at the scenes here, it's just wonderful. So, wonderful place here, not only, as I said, Darrenburg, but so many of the great vineyards around here and great cellars. Make sure you come down to McLaren Vale if you get the chance to come down here. And, of course, last year we were at the Barossa Valley. Now it's time. Mitsubishi Motors have given us over $70,000 worth of magnificent Outlander car. It is time to give it away to one contestant. Derm has been driving it all the way from Victoria. Derm, over to you with our 5 lucky contestants. One of them wins.
Absolutely, Ed. Thank you very much. So it is the EV hybrid Outlander from Mitsubishi Motors. Now, we have our 5 contestants here who've made it through to the finals. And Danielle's first. Now, Danielle's breaking a world first here. You are officially the most nervous person ever on TV, aren't you?
Can you tell?
Just a little bit. Cool. Jack, you've got a big day today. Anyway, tell us what it is.
Oh, it's my 21st.
Put your hands together. Well done, Jack. Jasmine, can you see yourself driving home in the Outlander?
Could you not?
Oh,
I mean,
beautiful.
look at her.
Good luck. And I must say, Lisa, you think it'd be magic if you just got to meet Tony Modra.
Yes,
you're a
definitely.
chance. Did you brush shoulders with
did.
him on the way through?
Yes.
Well done. You're a winner already. And Big John at the back. Eddie's rooting for you, all right? Good. If he can win anything. Okay. Gee, that was loud. Okay, a 20% chance. Now, what we are going to do, Danielle, you'll start off first in this bucket here from the Mitsubishi Motors. You put your hand in, take one token. You'll show the number to the camera, hand it to me, and then you take the corresponding number up on stage. Okay, so you're going first, and Eddie will explain it from there after. Danielle, pick away. Good luck, good luck. It is number 5. Thank you, Danielle. You're up next to Eddie. All right, Jack. 21 today. Don't you look in there. Oh, well, you can. You don't know what you're going for anyway, do you? Jack, pick away. Number 4. Up to the camera. Well done. Give it here, Jack. You can't keep them. You can have a car, but you can't take this. Jasmine, your turn, my darling. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Number 2. Thank you, Jasmine. Make your way up onto the stage. Oh, we're going. Oh, no, we've missed out a couple. 1 and 3 are remaining. Up to you. Long arms, short arms. Cannot see. Number 3. Thank you. I wonder what number you're going to get, John. I can't put it together. Number 1. Get in there, John, and take it out. Number 1. Thank you. Jono, you're up on stage, sir, and away you go.
All right, come on, Big John, up you come, son. Good stuff here. I'll tell you what, we've got a couple of numbers here. We've got a couple of magpies. Good on you, Jasmine. A couple of Adelaide Crows. Who do you back for, Danielle?
Port.
Port Adelaide, there we go. All right. Okay, so what we have is, in front of you, we have got the car key. One of you, one at a time, I'll call out the number, we'll get a chance, and if it opens the car, you get in and you drive it home. It's all yours, more than $75,000 worth of Mitsubishi Motors car. All right, Big John, you're first, number 1. Sorry, Johnny. Thanks, John. Leave the car key. And leave the stage. Goodbye. See you later, mate. All right, we'll come up this end of 10. Danielle, number 5. Here we go, Danielle. Sorry, Danielle. All righty.
1 and 3.
1 and 3. All right, what do you reckon? We've got a magpie and 2 crows here. I'll tell you what, we'll split the difference. We'll go to Lisa, number 3. Hang on, Lisa, where are you from?
Galway.
Galway. Good stuff. All right, here we go.
Congratulations.
Right on, Lisa. Go and speak to Dermott. You've got a new car.
We're down here, Lisa. And this is... What do you want to say about that? Mitsubishi Motors will be a start.
Thanks, Mitsubishi Motors. And
Eddie,
Channel 9
Eddie as
and
well.
Eddie
Yeah.
and Dermott
Yeah.
and Rory and Mods.
You can give Mods a lift home. You're out.
Yeah, I know. He lives nearby.
Just the two of you here tonight?
Yes.
All right. And what do you think about this?
fantastic.
Yeah, and are you going to let him drive it?
I do have two adopted sons, Thomas and Cameron.
Thomas, Cameron, come up. Come on. Unless you rough nuts.
Hey, Derm, can I ask Lisa? Lisa, what do you drive at the moment?
A Toyota Corolla.
A Toyota Corolla. Good. What year is that?
2018.
2018. Okay, you got a nice car. But what about these wheels? Have a look at this. Tell me what you think about this car right now. The magnificent Mitsubishi Outlander.
And you better open it again. There we go. That's your key.
Hey,
and
Derm,
with that key comes a car.
Derm, for a moment there, I thought we're not going to be able to get into the car, but I've realised we've got plenty of Port Adelaide supporters here who could get in for us.
Very good. I got in trouble for that one. Try it on for size there. How does that feel? So that'll slide for all automatic, you can automate it so you can come to your size.
Awesome.
And you can, Lisa, you're not the tallest girl in the world. You can go up as well to see over the steering wheel.
Thank you. I need that. I'll have
All
to
right, give us
play
a two
with
to the horn. Just see if the horn works. And again. Beautiful. Back to you, Edward.
We'll take a break. We'll come back and finish for Sneaky Soundsystem. This has been Gather Round from the Fleurieu Peninsula. The Mitsubishi's gone.
My name's Daniel Rioli and welcome to the Eyre Peninsula. We're now in Coffin Bay here. Beautiful Coffin Bay, trying the freshest oysters straight from the sea. Doesn't get any better than this. Beautiful. Wow, that is unbelievable. That's so good. I learned how to shuck it and we got there in the end, and I mean, to have it fresh is unbelievable. How many is too much? 14.
Welcome back to the Fleurieu Peninsula, and for the last time, have a look at that, Lisa Johnson. She just won the Mitsubishi Motors. Look at that, worth $75,000. Yeah! Hey, Derm, it's amazing, isn't it? As you just said to me before, isn't it lovely watching somebody's life change before your eyes?
Absolutely. And you'd love to see good people do well in life, and that is a life-changing experience. Congratulations, and thank you once again to Mitsubishi Motors.
Good on you, mate. Hey, and Cal Twomey, this is your first time in front of a big audience like this in big-time TV. How's it feel?
It's been amazing, Ed. I can't wait for this week. I love Gather Round, and it's going to be a ripping few days.
Good stuff. And Rory, you've been absolutely sensational. You, and please tell your wonderful wife Belinda as well. Thank you for all her help. What about Rory Sloane, everybody? What a star he is in South Australia.
What a night. How good's Gather Round. Hopefully it's here for a big, long time to come.
Good on you. And Hirdy, mate, as always, it's been such a pleasure over the years doing these big shows with the grand final footy shows, shows in London, all those things we did together. Just wonderful, mate.
Yeah, great fun and great to be here for another great week.
All right, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday, the Sunday Footy Show, TJ and the gang will all be here. Rory's going to be down at Norwood. Derm, you're going to be around as well.
Food and Wine Festival, Ed.
That'll be fantastic. Damien Barrett, Lauder will be there. Brownie's in great form. There's the great man, Sloane. And TJ, he's got the chompers ready to hit that Norwood Food and Wine Festival. It's going to be fantastic.
He called it Chompville during the week.
Chompville.
Yeah, Chompville.
Billy Brownless will be making a special appearance as well as all these guys. So it is absolutely fantastic. So good luck. It's going to be a wonderful day at Sunday down by the riverbank there, just in front of the convention centre on the Torrens River. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That has been the 2026 Gather Round Spectacular. So why not go out the way we started tonight, and that is with Sneaky Soundsystem with Angus and Connie. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the weekend. This is Gather Round on the 9 Network.